Where? Somewhere. So what's the songwriting process for you, Corey? I mean, do you start with a story, or do you start with, just kind of jamming out and develop the music first, or?
Any way you can.
Almost always the music comes first. Always, except for one, I was forced to do the opposite. I'll try to be as succinct as possible. It's a very bizarre process.
Take us through it, man, because you know what? People think this shit is just normal.
It's different it's different for every artist. Every artist has.
Go deep, man.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, my dad was a professional musician. His dad was a professional musician. So,
You had a preconceived notion of what it was to be?
Well, I mean, I was surrounded by it constantly. You know what I mean? Like, my dad's bands, I was always, he would take me, I was like, I think he had me just so he'd have a roadie,
Okay.
So I was always around. So
I was my dad's roadie too.
That's how I even learned. I never took lessons or anything. I just watched them and asked questions and jam them. But I started writing songs before I started playing. I had songs just in my head, and I had no way to get them out. So that's why I started playing guitar. And I wrote probably a bunch of crappy songs from then until when I was 19.
You have to. That's the only way to write good ones. You got to get all the shit out.
All the crappy ones out, right?
You know what I'm saying?
I know, there's a lot of artists I can think of who saved some crappy ones for later in their career. But when I was 19, I had a series of events that led to an epiphany, and I threw out all my old songs and I started over again. And ever since then, I've been saving them. And the first song that I wrote inadvertently, it wasn't on purpose. I don't write any of my songs about something on purpose ahead of time.
Hey man, stay on that mic. Get it right in your mouth. I want to hear everything you're saying. Everyone else does too. Sorry.
So I just I decided that I didn't want to write autobiographically because it's airing your personal dirty laundry. You know what I mean? Why would you want to do that?
And
I saw what happened to my dad.
Fuck it. You know?
It was just that's awkward. I don't want to do that. So, but I still wanted to have the impact of singing in first person sometimes. Narration. So I decided I'll just do that storyteller thing. And
characters.
Yeah, right. And I just, for the purposes of that one song, I created a character.
So you're an actor too.
And kinda. I mean, not physically. When I'm on stage, I'm not
No, you're you on stage.
Right.
But the character of the song is
absolutely
acting. Your delivery.
Exactly. Because sometimes it's different. There's a lot of my songs that are it's
your
a woman
voice.
Narrating it, not a man.
Bro,
it could be
your
that
voice kind of changes too with songs. I've noticed you have this capability of
becoming the other person.
I've heard you do covers recently, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
it's
almost subconscious. I don't actively
You don't think about doing it,
right?
Okay.
I don't actively think about it. And whenever I'm performing, I have no idea what I look like, or I usually cannot even see people in front of me. It's
I feel that.
I'm off in the ether. I'm still in the bartender's line, and
If I'm having a shit night, then I can see people in the audience.
yeah, exactly. The worse I'm doing, the better my vision is.
I might even use them to
It's good storytelling, is what it is. It's just like when you're when you're a little kid and your parents are telling you the bedtime stories, and they become characters in the book.
All right.
It's that type of storytelling.
Dave does not write songs. He might have written one.
I've written some good songs.
Have you?
Just never performed any.
Dave, what kind of stories do you read to
I
your
knew
kids?
you've written one or two. It's been a while since we talked about it. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I read my kids' comic books.
Right.
Anyways,
that's okay. So
anyways, point being is you have to be able to, I think, to be a good storyteller, to be able to empathize and become something else, to truly write a song about something that you haven't experienced, personally.
But tell us more, Corey.
That's true. I mean, if you're good at it, but it's impossible to be subjective. I mean, objective about yourself, So I can't say how good I am at it,
But the music comes first.
Yeah, the music comes first, and that character that I created for that one song, I realized as I got deeper into writing my first album, it was all about him. It was I was it's a concept album about this character, okay. And then, by a couple years later, when I was almost done with the second album, I realized that it's all that's all related, and so like all the songs that I've been writing ever since 1999, they're all like a giant novel. Basically, they're all like vignettes or scenes or whatever, somehow related to the same story.
Yeah, one big story.
That's cool. How does that work out?
Well, I mean, and
you know what I'm just.
It's very weird.
I
How it
fucking
works
so
out.
relate. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, I'm like, do you know a good therapist that I could see? 'Cause fuck.
It's very weird how it works out because because at the same time, even though it's like all this one big story, it's not like I go, okay, now I'm gonna write about when him and his
Right.
I literally.
It's like, is it
just
spontaneous?
write.
It just.
I just write. I get a title. I get words. Whatever. I get the music first. Then I start working through it, and then at some point I start to catch on. And by the time it's done, it's like a jigsaw piece, and I can fit it into the puzzle of the bigger story.
Of the
And
bigger
it was,
story,
like,
the
really
set,
hard
which is
in the beginning, because there was only a few pieces. But now, like 20-something years later, it's like getting easier to see where they fit in because there's so many pieces.
Now, being a creative like that, do you find it hard to navigate the actual business side of music?
I hate it, for sure. I've avoided it all my life.
Me too. But why do you avoid it? What is the bullshit that you're sick of or that?
I mean, to tell you the truth, the business aspect of it is not really what bothers me. I mean, I did a lot of straight, legit business at one point. I managed an angel investor group, believe it or not, and I was a consultant, and I did a lot of like wearing suits and ties shit, and that's not so bad.
So you don't mind calling the places and booking the gigs or whatever, but
I don't love it, but it's not like a big deal.
is it some of the
always,
politics around playing it that
it's
turns
just,
you off, maybe, or
it's the politics around being the man in the middle,
Yeah.
the front man. I hate that. So I always, Jody,
yeah.
Maddie in the
Recently,
last band.
you were in a band, the Portals.
Right, yeah. We were supposed to do this, actually.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we just broke up. We just recorded, too.
You have music coming out?
Yeah. Basically, there was 3 singer-songwriters in the band. That was a really cool thing about it. And so 2 of the songs were my songs. 2 of the songs were Maddie's songs. 1 of the songs was Rob's song. So basically, I'm just releasing the 2 that I sang. That I wrote one of them myself. Actually, to be fair, one of them, music was a collaboration between us.
So you all sat down and did an EP?
Exactly.
You guys should just put it out. You should just put it out, even if it's a one-off. I've seen bands do that. Think of Mad Season. They put out an album and then the homeboy died.
Yeah.
It's like shit happens.
There's no appetite
for a full EP. So do your own then. Good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna release because we were at the stage of everything was done except for mixing, mastering, and a couple of things on my 2 singles. So
Recording could be a motherfucker,
I'm
dude.
mixing, mastering mine, and I'm hoping that they, go back and finish theirs because they're great song. They're both great songwriters. Like really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And they're great songs.
That was a pretty powerhouse band.
Yeah.
More to come. More to come.